and all the incremental work. And when you see him every day and every year, you don't really notice it. When you look back to when he was a rookie and in his second year and third year, he's definitely invested there and has done it consistently. He does it in the summer. And I do think some of the stuff you're talking about is a byproduct of the way that he's invested and attacked the program.
When you look back at the tape from his first year, what did you see?
I saw a play that we used to run for Horford that I was thinking about using, but I didn't use it tonight.
And, in building a team around shooting and, shooting with the best in the league, I imagine that's bound to become such a big part of your identity. But on nights like tonight where you go, I think, 7 for 35 or whatever from 3, I wonder what you've seen from this team in terms of, building a separate identity on nights where the ball doesn't go in.
It's not a separate identity. I think it's just a recognition, like I said to Nick, that if shots aren't falling, first of all, stay the course, which I thought we did. Keep doubling down and keep getting good shots and trust that they're going to fall eventually and be willing to lose that way, be willing to lose with the right shots. But also, it's not a different identity. It's just doubling down on pace, like I said, coming out of halftime, getting on the offensive glass, which has not been a strength of ours but has been an emphasis lately, and I thought we did a good job of that.
You guys just had a 10-game streak of shooting 50% or more from the field in tonight. First team since 92, 93 to do that. During that streak and even tonight, you guys have been getting some great looks. It just didn't fall as much tonight. But what do you feel like has been one of the biggest keys for you guys generating all those great looks?
A combination of things. It's first of all, creating advantages. It's hard to get a good look. It's not just ball movement. You have to create an advantage and being sharp in our actions and creating an initial advantage and then moving it out of the advantage when there's not a score available or a shot available, and then those guys being ready to play quickly on the catch. And the team's done a great job of that. We've had a very unselfish spirit really the whole season, and they work together to find the best shots, and they work together to find the best advantages. And when you do that repeatedly, possession by possession, you can get great shots when you have talented players. We have talented players.
And a lot of that kind of seems like it's from the gravity that Shea creates. Is there a way that you guys can practice that? Do you guys, when in practice, do you corral Shea anytime? Or because how do you, I guess, game plan for 3 or 4 guys collapsing on Shea and then other guys being in the exact right spot for him to dish it out to him?
Yeah, it's everything. It's first of all the guys. It's not just him. His gravity certainly is helpful, but he's really the last couple of games he's really screened. He's gotten us layups on screens, but the other thing is the guys that are creating the collision with him, that are in the action with him, doing so with pace, confusing the defense, using different guys in that, guys recognizing it in transition quickly. It all has to do with it. And then, over that time, even when he's been off the court, we've been able to do that. So I would argue that he is, as high gravity as he is, we've been able to do it stylistically across the roster and with a lot of different guys.
Shea has proven himself to be one of the best shot makers in the league. You hear a lot of the oohs and ahs from the crowd, but you're pretty even keel on the sideline. Is it ever hard to contain reactions to a good or bad play?
No.
Andrew Schleck with The Athletic. You guys drive the ball more than any team in the league, have for several years now. Was that something that was born out of just having this personnel where it's hey, we have these guys that drive the ball, or was that hey, this is the way we want to play and this is how we're going to play? Because there's other teams that have players that like to drive the ball, are good at driving the ball, but where did that style of play, where was it birthed from?
I think more the former. It wasn't this vision, because you don't know who's going to be on the team when you first start out. So it's really just how do you maximize what you have? And everything we're doing now has evolved to this point. So the cutting is something that we had players on the team that they weren't guarding; they were just loading up on Shea, and it's okay, where do we space them? And we learn different spacings from that. We learn the cutting, the cutting triggers and how to activate that from that, experience. The guard-to-guard stuff was born out of, having shooting fives, undersized fives, non-fives playing the five. And it's just step by step, it's just we've run into a hurdle and figured out a way to solve it, and the stuff that's good we keep and we cultivate, and that just becomes your system. And a year from now, our system's going to look different because different things will get thrown at us that we'll have to adapt to. We'll trip on different things that'll be effective, and we just want to be like an ever-evolving, problem-solving, group, players, coaches, everybody. And we've done a good job to that point, but it wasn't like something like we drew up on a napkin 4 years ago. And they'd probably say the same thing. I mean, there was like covers on the hoop in the first half. So yeah, it was definitely that. And that's what I was saying earlier. I thought we did a great job of kind of manufacturing a win there out of a night that we didn't shoot it particularly well. We did it with pace, did it with rebounding. And I think we stayed the course with our style despite the fact that the ball wasn't going, which is critical for us. You got to be able to stay with it.
And when the shots aren't falling, do you talk about it, or do you run any pet plays, like when Isaiah comes out there to kind of get him an open look, kind of break the ice, and you just keep playing?
I talk about it, because I think it's a recognition thing, and they feel it. It's not like, it's like, hey, we're 2 for whatever. We're getting great looks. Let's keep getting the same ones. When you're having a bad shooting night, I try to draw shooting plays. I tried to get Chet one in the corner. I tried to get Isaiah one there late. Because it reinforces that, hey, like, these are the shots we want. Let's keep going for it. So, but the guys did a great job, like I said, with the rebounding, the pace, the execution to offset obviously a rough shooting night.
Mark, I think there's some plus minus stats or whatever, but beyond statistically, like, it's looked better when Micic is in the game lately. He just looks a little more comfortable. Are you seeing anything different about him the past few weeks?
Yeah, he's. Sam made this. He said this statement early in the season, and it stuck with me. Like, he needs to catch up to the pitching, and he's so cerebral. Micic, not Sam. Sam's cerebral too, but I'm referring to Micic. Micic is so cerebral that you just kind of trust he's going to get there. I mean, you see the guy play in Europe, and he's a wizard. And so, it took him a minute, I think, to catch up to the speed of it, athleticism. We were also playing well without him in the mix, so that was a reason that he didn't get an opportunity. But, we saw a window there coming out of Christmas with that second group that we thought, some secondary playmaking off the ball would be helpful for them, and that's proven to be true. And I'm really impressed with how he's competed defensively as well. He's obviously not, Bruce Bowen, but he's really given effort on that end. He's executing coverages. He's playing physical. He's getting to the ball. He's doing the things he needs to do on that end as well.